Hey guys, Aaron here. You might know me as Slanesh Devotee or Bricker Kiwi. I'm here with round 2 of the APOCA Octagon League. I ended up being Nazdreg being chosen for me, and I chose Broderick Worr for my opponent. I can't remember why I chose Broderick Worr. That's a terrible choice. Oh yes, I think I had Varcheleur was his other option, and that's my warlord. I didn't want somebody else to use Varcheleur. So first we have Carnath, then Taurus, then Balus, let's discard, and then we have Yvarn, and last down under the end there is Planum. So Planum, Yvarn, Taurus, that's a really great option for Varcheleur matchup, and I believe I had Varcheleur for this one as well, and Neo Warmer chose otherwise for me. No, I wouldn't have. I would have had Canoness Vadira, the new Canoness warlord that APOCA created. So anyway, I've got Nazdreg. This is my APOCA attachment heavy Nazdreg deck, and unfortunately some of the cards aren't fully upgraded on here, so we're missing some. So I got to be first player. We have red win condition by planet 4, green by planet 4, blue by planet 5, so not a big rush, but a couple of different options depending on what you pick up along the way. Of course, the most important thing to notice is that 4 of the 5 planets are green, and I'm playing Broderick Worr, who allows all Imperial Guard units on green planets to gain +1 attack and to no longer be able to be routed. Which means he's going to be quite difficult for me. My Nazdreg deck, I've got lots and lots of attachments, and the reason I go with Nazdreg for this is the idea of having a bigger body to put the attachments on is sort of reasonable, with brutal activated things and bigger is better being an option, and those sorts of deals. So let's see if he's ready to go. And he's decided to mulligan as well, so let's get into this game then. Oh, just got to wish a great game to my opponent. I actually recorded the sound for this live, and then that something went wrong with that recording, and so I re-recorded a commentary over the top of it, and something went wrong with that. So this is the third time I've commentated what's going on in this game. So I start with a Neurotic Obliterator, one of APOCA's new cards, 3 cost, 1 command, 1 attack, 5 hit points, good sturdy body. It gains 1 attack and 1 hit point for each attachment, and has a reaction after it is chosen as a defender. You can exhaust a weapon attachment to deal 1 damage to the attacker. So it's just a great body to be putting attachments on. And so I've thrown that down to the first planet. I'm going to be a bit of a bully, because I know I have a cyborg body. But he follows up immediately with Inquisitorial Fortress, which allows him to, as an action, rout any target unit I have. So that's a really powerful card that he's got there, and I'm risking a bit here by putting the cyborg body on it, because he could actually use it to rout the Obliterator right now. But the cyborg body doubles the hit points of my Obliterator, so initially it gains 1 attack and 1 hit point from the having an attachment, so it's at 2/6, and then the cyborg body doubles it, so it's a 2 attack, 12 hit point unit right now. He throws down a Griffin Escort, 4 cost, 1 command, 2 attack, 4 hit points. Not a great lot there, but after the vehicle enters play, put 2 guardsman tokens into play at this planet. With all of those units getting +1 effect from Broderick Worr, that makes for a very potent bunch of cards there. Now I've got a few options. I'm looking at wanting to be able to use my Squig Bombin later on, and the Void Pirate is also a good thing, and I end up deciding I am going to use a rocket launcher as an attachment on the Obliterator as well, so he gains ranged. So he has 3 attack for the attachments, and 7 hit points for the attachments, and then the hit points are doubled up to 14, and he is ranged. So he has a 3 attack, 14 hit point, ranged unit at the moment. Quite brutal, quite intense. Okay, so he follows up with a Rattling Deadeye. Plays it onto planet 3. Perfectly respectable. It's a 1-cost unit, 1 attack, 1 hit point, 1 command, but it has range. It's a very decent little capper to put on a planet and get yourself some income. So I use my own little 1-cost capper, 1 cost, 1 command, 1 hit point bonus card on the planet, just to get a little bit of command myself. Now I'm feeling like he's saving the Inquisitorial Fortress until the last second that he needs it, so I'm feeling quite safe to be doing these things at this stage. If I really wanted to be safe, I probably should have blown it up immediately, but then I wouldn't have had quite enough resources to do all the things that I'm doing now, I think. Or I would have been at 0 resources at this point, which might have felt a bit different. I might have felt a little more on the back foot. So I'm going to go to planet 2. I'm hoping to cancel his command on that planet with the Griffin Escort, and I'm hoping, well, I'm pretty sure, hopefully, barring some dreadful circumstance, that I will win planet 1, which will allow me to use Carnath to trigger Planum and move the Obliterator to planet 2, where it can support my Warlord. So I've got planet 2, and he's going to planet 1, which makes sense. He's hoping to win planet 1 himself because he's got the Inquisitorial Fortress in tow there. So he cancels my command on that planet and gets his Rattling planet, and so we're both pretty even here. I get 2 cards and 2 resources. There we go. And oh, I can't see what he got. I tried to do full screen so you guys could see my cards a bit better, and it did something strange with the window of the recording software that I'm doing here. Oop. Sorry about that. There we go. So he got 3 cards and 1 resource, so I think he's probably actually got a bit of a better deal out of his command than I did. So we're ready for the first, but I'm just popping in there. I have a command action first, and I'm first in the command action window, and so there we go. I've managed to make sure I get my 1 resource in, and I use it. Well, 2 resources I ended up with, but I needed at least 1 resource, and I was able to get enough for my Squig Bombing and go kaboom on that Inquisitorial Fortress. So I spent 2 resources and a card to get rid of his 2 resources and a card, which is kind of meh, but it does mean that his Warlord is now in a very difficult position, and I think it's very, very impactful. Yeah, I'm going to do as a command action. Cool, blow it up. I personally think that support hate, cards that deal with supports, is huge. I think that the supports in Warhammer Conquest are generally really powerful, and cards that deal with them and do things to them are generally actually, I feel, pretty worthwhile. Not many people run a lot of supports, really, but the ones that are there are pretty impactful. It's an interesting sort of dynamic there. Alright, so we are on to first planet where he has his Warlord, which means he has the initiative. But, and this is a theme that will come up over and over again this game, I have ranged on this Obliterator. And I'm not remembering to use it half the time. So no actions, there we go, and see, he swings to run away. And I have to point out, sorry, I have ranged. Sorry about that. So I deal 3 attack. And he uses a bolstered the defense to shield 2 of it, which means he'll take 1 damage. But of course, now that I'm exhausted, he may as well take a swing at me. There we go. I decide I'm going to use bigger is better because I don't have that many actually big targets for it in this deck. So I get rid of a bigger is better and just take the 1 damage. And I completely forgot that I could have exhausted my weapon, my rocket launcher, and done 1 more point of damage to Broderick Worr there. which I really should have, I reckon. So at that point he does retreat. 14 hit points damage is not something you want to mess with, and I'm triggering Planum over to Planet 2, ready to help out my Warlord. Okay. Clear up those arrows, and I have won a red and a blue. So next planet has got a red on it, I'd like that, and then really the blue is kind of useless because, yeah, well, we'll see. And there's a lot of big things on this planet. They've got lots of bonuses, and I have to kill all of them because he can't retreat them. Or I think he can retreat the tokens. So we begin with ranged attack on the Griffin Escort. I want to try and get rid of it as soon as possible, but he uses another bolster the defense to shield that. But I'm swinging for 4 here because of Brutal conferred by Nazdreg, so 4 attack and 13 hit points left. So I have no actions. He shouldn't be doing that yet because he doesn't. I need. Okay. So he hasn't actually said if he's got any actions. And I think I roll with this. I think I get caught up in the moment of it. But actually, my Obliterator was ranged, so the next attack is actually Nazdreg. I'm just. We need to wait and see what is in the action window in between. Yeah, so I think I've gotten caught up in it, so just give me a little while and then I'll take that back. So I take the damage. Action window. He says he's done. And then I realise, yeah, here we go. That was my swing. Yeah, so it's actually my attack twice in a row on this one. So I take the damage off the Obliterator, and yes, so the Obliterator has range still. Yeah, it's an awkward, annoying sort of thing. But so there we go. I'm gonna swing at that Griffin Escort. The idea being, I want to knock out a unit in full before it can attack me, if possible. This has the most outgoing damage, 3 attack, whereas the tokens would only be attacking for 2. I'm not sure why he's removing that damage. It should still be there because it came from the Obliterator. I think we've all gotten very confused at this point. Yeah, the damage was there from the Obliterator, so it should still be there. And then swinging for 2 more from Nazdreg. Okay, and then uses a summary execution to shield for 1, which means he'll take 1 more point of damage. Okay. A lot of shields being thrown out here. It's really hard to get through them all. Okay, so and knowing that my Warlord's exhausted, he's going to go for that side of things, which hurts straight away. 3 damage, just like that. That Griffin Escort is a heck of a lot of value there. So I take a shield of 1 there, use up my Mark of Slanesh, take 1 from the token, and then the next token, and I have no shields left, so I have to take 2 points of damage, and I'm at 6 damage out of 7. I'm about to be bloodied, and this is a tricky moment here. Do I stay and retain the brutal bonus? I haven't dealt out a huge amount of damage. Do I go and let my Obliterator take a heck of a pounding? I'm not even sure I could win this battle. I'd kill the escort, and I decide to stay. So I go to kill the griffin with my warlord. Which I managed to do. He doesn't have any more 2 shield cards left, which is nice. Or at least none that he's willing to use. And then that means he gets to bloody me. Quite easily, really. This is turn 1. My warlord is bloodied on turn 1. That's not a good thing. Not a good thing. So my obliterator is going to be able to knock out that token. And then I can kill the other token pretty solidly at my leisure, hopefully. He has no actions, which is good. I don't either. What am I waiting on? Yep, I have none. We all ready. And I don't think he can run away anyway, so we kill that token. But that unit was pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. Also, that means I actually win. I can't trigger Taurus because I've got too many units. That one extra Void Pirate over there, which possibly wasn't the best way of doing things. Maybe I made a mistake there. Well, I let my warlord get bloodied, so I may have made a mistake there. But there we are. So, I've taken one planet, I've cleared him off the second planet and put a pretty nasty unit on it. Let's see what comes next. Alright, so it's on to him to begin. I've picked up a Blood Axe Strategist and some Lucky Warpaint. So he opens up with a Sanctioned Psyker, which is a 2-cost unit with 2 command and 4 hit points, which is really pretty good value there. You're just paying where you would normally have an ability, you instead get an extra command. But what makes it really good is that it's got a huge body, which makes it very survivable, but Broderick Worr gives it +1 attack on a green planet, so it's actually got some offensive ability. Makes it pretty good, makes it pretty valuable. I throw out Crush Face onto planet 2, ready. I'm hoping to set up a bunch of cheaper orcs on that planet ready to finish the game. And he combats it with Iron Guard recruits to equalize the Crush Face has 2 commands, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to win command, but his Iron Guard recruits have 2 command also, so he gained back. And then I put a Junk Chucker Commando, which is a new APOCA orc unit, onto the planet as well, so we're all tied up on planet 2. The Iron Guard recruits are 2 cost, 2 command, 1 attack, 2 hit points. Crush Face is 3 cost, 2 command, 2 attack, 3 hit points, and he allows me to reduce the cost of an orc on that planet being deployed to that planet by 1, which I do with the Junk Chucker Commando. The Junk Chucker is a 3 cost, 2 attack, 2 hit point, 1 command unit, which reduces the cost of attachments played on it by 1, so this Lucky Warpaint goes out for free, and it also has an ability where it can after attacking, it can move an attachment on it to an enemy eligible enemy unit and cause them damage, which can be kind of fun, throwing your attachments at other people. So between the Obliterator and the Junk Chucker, that was the incentive to do this kind of ridiculous combination of cards. Alright, so all decisions are made here, and I'm heading to planet 4. I'm hoping that I can pull that Obliterator onto a relevant planet. That's what I want to do here. But obviously he could anticipate that, or he was hoping to move something himself. Alright, so he wins command on planet 1. We're tied up on planet 2. I win planet 3, and then we're tied up on planet 4. So all kind of even there. I get 1 card and a resource, and my lovely opponent receives 1 card and a resource. So yay for us. No command actions anymore. I've got nothing to blow up with my lovely squigs running around with bombs strapped to their backs, and neither does he, so we're over to planet 1. Eventually. Yep, battle at planet 1. And he goes straight to the attack. Doesn't do the action window, but that's alright, I suppose. I don't have any actions. So I take a point of damage, and then I remember I have ranged. So I get to hit him first. So 3 attack onto that 4 hit point unit. I'm not sure what he's targeting. Might just be trying to sort out the arrows. Yep, yep, just confirming for him. It is 3 attack, which he puts on, and then he swings on me. Yeah, okay, cool, for 1. Alright. So I should be at 2 damage now. Only 12 hit points remaining on this obliterator. Okay. Right, all done. And he gets to swing first. Just wait for see if he's got an action. Just checking actions. He isn't. Cool. Okay, I have no actions either, so let's finish the job. Awesome. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I still cannot trigger. If I had have not bothered with Crush Face and the Commando, I might have been able to, but I don't know if that was actually... if there would have been much point either way. But I have captured Tara, so I have 2 red, 1 green, and 1 blue, so I'm feeling pretty happy with that. Right, we roll on down to Platinum, where unfortunately he's going to be able to beat me. He's asking for actions. Oh no, he's checking that it's action window time. I have no actions. He's going to swing on me. I have no shields, so my bloodied Warlord has now taken 2 hit points out of 5, which is obviously very dangerous. I was considering whether or not to attack now that his Warlord is exhausted, to try and get some more damage onto Broderick Worr, but the, what are they called, the Catachan Devil Patrol or something like that, are a thing, and I was terrified of them. They're an APOCA card that costs, if you attack a unit, they can be deployed for a cost of 2, which he had, and then they either do 2 damage to you, or you cancel the attack and then they attack. And they have 2 attack, and it's Green Planet, so they'd have 3 attack. They are just phenomenally good, and there is no way I was going to attack Broderick Worr knowing that they existed. So, I had to run away. I was very sad. I wanted my obliterator to move up to the next planet. He says he can't use. I think he clarifies that he doesn't want to use it in a moment, which is fine. Oh, and as a point of interest, obviously I could have killed the Psyker earlier by using my obliterator's reaction and exhausting the rocket launcher to do it a point of damage when it attacked me. And then I would have had 1 hit point extra on my obliterator unless he'd shielded it, which he very well might have. So we're all done. Wrapping up turn 2 and on to turn 3. There we go. Back over to me. I'm really sorry that my my art wasn't set up. But see, this is the other thing that made me want to do this deck, was Painboy Surgery, where I pick an Orc unit and then I just basically start peeling off cards until I either kill my Orc by dealing it a point of damage for the card, or until I hit an attachment and put it in. That was my incentive for this deck. That was the fun of this deck. That was why I used Nazdreg for it. And at the moment, the Obliterator is more useful than the Orc units. I'd like some more Orc units that synergize with attachments, please. That would be lovely. Right, so I throw a Blood Axe Strategist onto that first planet. It's 3 cost, 2 command, 2 attack, 4 hit points, which is actually fantastic value for that, for those stats for that investment. But his reaction after an Orc unit you control at this planet resolves an attack, move it to an adjacent planet or the HQ. It's a beautiful ability. It's really, really great. And what it's going to allow me to do is move all of the units I have on Planet 1 over to Planet 2 as we clean up on Planet 1, ready to continue the assault the next turn. Also, Iridial has come up down the line, the planet that heals a unit if you want to battle there, and I really want to put Nazdreg. I really want to send him there and win that. So he's put another Rattling onto the first planet, so he's got 2 ranged units there, both with 2 attack because it is a green planet. I've got 2 copies of Painboy Surgery, and I've got another Junk Chucker Commando. So I decide I might as well use the Junk Chucker on Planet 1, being that I've got Crush Face there to make it cheaper, and I've got the Strategist there so I can send them away to Planet 2, or even the HQ if I prefer. Oh, the Lucky Warpaint that I put out, it attaches to the unit, gives it the blue trait, because blue is the Lucky Orc colour, and it cannot be targeted by enemy events, which is just nice. It's just fun. Throws another Griffin Escort onto this battle with its 2 Guardsman tokens coming along for the because they're being escorted, you know. And I'm looking at that and going, oh, that's getting to be a lot of bodies on that planet. I don't know if I've got enough to do it myself. The Painboy Surgeries to shield might mean it's a bit closer, but it's pretty nasty. But then I realise I don't need green planets. I have red. So there's one more red planet coming up soon. Why don't I just try and get everything onto that red planet? So I'm committing to that planet to get the Obliterator there. I could have gone to Planum, and then having one Planum I could have sent the Obliterator to Planet 2. Yeah, all much of a muchness really, I think. I'm not sure which would have been the better option there. I could have hoped to be getting another Mark of Slanesh to pull the Obliterator into where it needs to be, but that's probably not that useful. Okay, he's chosen his position. I'm going to Planet 2 and he's going to Planet 3. Okay, so it probably was best that I went to Planet 2. Alrighty. Cool. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I actually win Planet 1, which is a nice surprise. I wasn't expecting that. That's really cool. Alright, and let's get those bonuses. I get 3 cards and a resource, and he gets 1 card and a resource, so that's a pretty good deal for me. I got the Flash Gits, which are a decent body to put attachments on, getting repeatable, hopefully repeatable hits, and I got the, I think it's the Goth Battle Axe or something like that, and some Snake Bites. Not Snake Bites, War Bikers. So just, yeah, some good cards. Some nice cards. Anyway, we go on to Barlas, where I have no action, but he has a preemptive barrage, a 1-cost event that allows him to target 3 Imperial Guard units at the planet and give them all ranged. So yep, those 3 are stepping up with the Rattlings that also have ranged by themselves anyway, and we have 5 ranged units. Suddenly I'm really concerned. He says, can I? Can you? I've said yes, but I don't quite know what. Okay. Anyway, so he gets on to his turn and he swings for 3 from the Griffin Escort onto a Junk Chucker, and I'm actually going to spend 2 because I really want him to focus on as few number of orcs as possible, and that might allow me to let some of my orcs survive. So he then swings with the Rattling Deadeye, and I let that one die. I realised I need to make sure that the Commando Strategist survives to be able to get any orcs out. So let's see, he goes for the other junk chucker. Scared of junk chuckers apparently. And I'm going to shield that one as well. And he was hitting for 2 attacks, so that shields it completely. There he goes for another 2, that's enough to kill a junk chucker. Guardsman goes on Crush Face, so I put 2 damage onto Crush Face. And then that allows it to be my initiative, so it's my attack. Once all those ranged things are gone, I swing at the Iron Guard recruit, so I'm kind of thinking 2 attack, 2 hit points. If I kill it, that'd be great. He's got a Squig Bombing, so that goes away. And I use the Strategist's ability to move Crush Face onto the next planet, where hopefully I'll get some economic benefit back next turn. So I'm done. Let's see if he's got any actions. Apparently not. So Iron Guard recruits, swinging at strategists for just, oh no, for 2 actually. And I'm going to take the 2 because the strategists have 4 hit points, so I'm pretty comfortable taking 2 there. I've got no actions. Let's see what he does. None. So I'm going to swing at the recruits. See if I can do something to the recruits. Yep, managed to finish them off. I'm happy with that. So I killed them and I jumped them off the planet. As a reaction, there's an orc unit that attacked themselves. They attacked. They're an orc unit, and so their reaction kicks in and we get out of there. Yeah, one of the differences between this Conquest and L5R that I'm still trying to get my head around, Legend of the Five Rings, there's no limit printed on the strategist, so there's no limit to his reaction. There's no requirement for him to be bowed. There's no only once per battle. There's no rules like that. So, whereas in Legend of the Five Rings, that he'd only be able to work once, unless it said like limit 3, and then you'd be able to do it 3 times because it gave you a limit. But that's all good. Broderick Worr doesn't stop that occurring. He stops being retreated or routes, whereas the strategist is a move. Okay, now that does mean I give up Planet 1. He gets Planet 1 with all his 5 units, which is a pain. I don't like it. And I lose my Big Chopper, Goth Big Chopper. For losing Balas, he's allowed to trigger a random discard. So that's frustrating. There we go. So he's got 1 green planet, and I'm like, I'm okay actually with that. That's not too shabby. I'm alright with that. Right, so on to Ivan. He's got nothing here, so I'm hoping I have no action, and I'm hoping he has no action either. He says you win, but unfortunately I'm not confident putting either of my units into play. I don't think they're big enough. I think I risk him having something decent in his hand and it just being a bit of a wash, so there's no point. So he can have Planum, which allows him to move one of these guys back up to Planet 1. Yeah, the escort. Good call. Good, solid, decent sized unit. Put that back into action for the next battle. Good call. Alright. So I've got a couple of units, but they're not that great. I've got no real attachments to boost them up. I've got an event that doesn't really help me right now because I don't want to weaken any of my units. I've got some tough decisions here. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with a lot of this. Nazdreg himself, he's still quite badly hurt. really need to be able to go to Iridial if I can. So he puts down his Kalem Shrine Guard onto planet 1. They're a 1 cost, 1 command, 1 attack, 1 hit point unit, but on a green planet like they are, they become a 2 attack, 2 hit point unit, and with Broderick Worr giving them the bonus for a green planet, they're a 3 attack unit for 1 resource. I put out my War Bikers, reducing the cost by 1 for Crushface. He puts down the Anxious Infantry Platoon, which is Broderick Worr's signature squad, which is amazing. They cost 2, they have 3 attack and 3 hit points and 1 command, and so it's a green planet, so they have 4 attack and 3 hit points for 2 resources. But their drawback to pay for that is they must retreat from a battle unless you pay a resource at the end of the combat round. He puts another one on the planet, but obviously Broderick Worr, when he's Hail, means Imperial Guard units cannot retreat, so their downside is completely ignored. I throw a Rogue Trader out to just get some command out of this, but I put my War Bikers on planet 1, I put my Flash Gits on planet 1. I am not going to win planet 1. With the Shrine Guards, with the infantry platoons, those things are just horrific. I'm expecting him to come to planet 1 as well, with all of those rattlings and tokens, and I'm really worried now. So the Flash Gits are a 3 cost, 1 attack, 1 command, 2 attack, 3 hit points, and they can ready themselves by causing a point of damage to themselves. The War Bikers are 2 cost, 1 command, 2 attack, 2 hit points, and as long as there's a Warlord at the planet, they go up to 4 attack, which is quite nice. So I get my resources and cards down the line, I get a teleporter pad, totally useless right now, and another obliterator, which is, yeah, is okay, I guess. And he just gets the 1 resource. But I am not seeing a good chance at me here, and also I'm realizing that I've put way too many eggs in this basket, and I'm pretty sure he's going to wipe me here, and I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do in return, which means I'm not going to have much of an army to stop him at Planum, which I need to be able to win Planum, so otherwise he's going to win, because he'll have done 3 green in a row. If I can stop him at Planum, then I might win at Farron, which is currently planet 3, but it looks a bit worrying. So we just get back round to that point where I remind everybody that my Obliterator has ranged. What is this, the 4th time? The 5th time? Which is quite impressive, seeing as it's only, what, the 3rd turn? How many battles has it been in? But it does have range, so it gets to go first. My only real chance is to be able to, if I can, bloody Broderick Worr, because then those anxious infantry platoons will run away very quickly and I won't actually have to deal with them. But he has, of course, his signature attachment, the Commissarial Bolt Pistol, which can shield for 3. So it completely negates my hit from my Obliterator before things get dangerous. Not happy about that. The infantry platoon just smash out the War Bikers, just nice and just do the business. There we go. Waiting for him to see if he's got an action. I decided to say I'm done just to make it clear. Cool, there we go. Okay. Crushface is going to try and do something to Broderick Worr. I've got to try and get rid of Broderick Worr. Good, I did 2 more points of damage. Great, so I think he's on 5 out of 7, 5 out of 6 maybe? Can't remember what Broderick Worr has, but he is hoping. Shrine Guard knock out the strategist. They do. And actually, maybe I should have used that to move Crushface to the next planet. That might have been a useful idea. So I go with the Flash Gits next, because I'm thinking I'm going to be able to ready them. 2 more damage to Broderick Worr, so clearly he must have only been on like 3 hit points before. Now I think he's on 5, so we're getting closer to bloodying him, but gosh, it's taking a while. Sorry if you're getting background noise at the moment, just a bit of work going on around the corner. Okay, so no one's got any actions. Getting closer to doing some damage to Broderick Worr, not quite close enough yet. And he swings at the Flash Gits, but I'm like, haha, you can't kill me, I'm gonna shield. There we go. Take 2 points of damage, and then I'll ready myself and I'll hit Broderick Worr. It's gonna be great. And then he points out that it's a green planet, and therefore there is 1 extra point of attack. So 1 more damage on the Flash Gits. I put that on and realise I can't ready myself anymore because I would kill myself. Ugh. I was so happy about that. I was so happy. But there we go. Looks like he knew what he was doing. I've got no actions. He's got no actions. Cool. There we go. My Void Pirate does nothing, and then I have no actions, and Broderick Worr finishes the job on the flash kits. The Griffin Escort takes out Crushface. Look how many units he's got. I don't think I've managed to do just about anything. Would it have been better for me to actually focus on killing some of those other units and not worrying about Broderick Worr? I feel like having him bloodied is a really important thing. But he retreats, and I'm like, oh good, that means I can retreat, doesn't it? So he swings, but I'm just checking, does that mean I actually get the option to retreat? And he's thinking about it, but doesn't look like he's too sure either. He's not 100% sure. So I'm just going to suggest looking it up, and we'll see what I can find. Alright, so I went onto the Card Game DB forums and found this link here, which seems to support what I'm saying. If Broderick Worr retreats, that does give me an opportunity to then retreat. Gosh, that's loud next door, sorry. I remind him the 3 damage off my Obliterator, so he's got 9 hit points left. Just want him to be clear about what's sitting on this planet, potentially ready to swing at Broderick. He brings Broderick back. And I was like, oh, okay, Broderick's going to stay then. Well, in that case, I cannot retreat. Alright, no first actions. Okay, and he retreats as Broderick's action, of course. Luckily for me, that does mean I get to swing next, so I can try and kill something. I go for the Shrine Guard because I'm pretty sure they will die. Yep. So I killed something. That's nice. It's always nice to actually do something. Then he swings the Anxious Infantry Platoon. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage onto my Obliterator. I've got nothing. My Void Pirate does nothing. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 more points of damage to my Obliterator. I got nothing. 1, 2, 3 more points of damage, and there we go. That's just enough to drop it. Finally gotten rid of. And then I've got nothing. And the Rattling kills the Void Pirate. Just that simple. So that means he wins this planet, Yavarin. So he's only got 2 cards. I've only got 2 cards. So it's up to him if he wants to trigger that. I would assume he's not going to. It's unlikely that he's got something decent. He doesn't mention anything. Alright, so Iridial. I've got no actions at Iridial. I win, so I'll just heal my Warlord, which is possibly not that useful anymore. So yeah, the lineup of planets has led to this. He has 2 green going into a green planet. I have 2 red with a red planet 1 planet further down the line. So I picked up another attachment. I picked up a Pain Boy Surgery to throw things onto Orc units, and I've got my Obliterator, and that's basically it. This is not going to do it. I do not have enough to beat all of these units, but let's see what I can do. So, first step, throw out an Obliterator onto the first planet again. And he recognises this little beastie. He's not too pleased. He follows up with an ammo depot. I put a chain axe onto my obliterator, so now it's 4 attack. Yes, I believe 4 attack, and it gains brutal if something dies during a combat round. He uses his ammo depot to draw a card. Sorry, an ammo depot is a support, it's 1 cost support, and it allows you as an action to draw a card so long as you have 3 or fewer cards in your hand. So it's a nice stall, and it's a nice way to just keep your cards rolling through. So I'm just verifying, it is a 4 attack, 6 hit point creature, army unit that gains brutal each round something has died. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And then I am all done. That's everything. Blood for the blood gods, skulls for the skull throne. And that's my plan. Blood. It's not going to work. Come on, let's see what you got next. It's got a troop transport. It's fantastic Imperial Guard support. It's 0 cost. It's limited, so you can't play it with any other limited cards in the same turn. But it allows you to, as an action, sacrifice the troop transport support card and put 2 Guardsman tokens into play at a green planet, or 1 at a non-green planet, but really you put it at a green planet. Then he throws down Captain Marcus, a 3 cost unique to command, to attack, 3 hit points, which allows him to sacrifice an Imperial Guard unit to exhaust one of mine once per phase, so he can do it in the deploy phase, the command phase, and a combat phase, if he does 1 per phase. And he puts another Scalum Shrine Guard onto that planet. Now he does have a heck of a lot of stuff in HQ that I assume is all going to come to Planet 1. And I'm worried that he's got another preemptive barrage and I'll lose my warlord, so I can't go to Planet 1. So I decided to go down to Planet 3 in the hopes of drawing a card that might be useful. That's the only reason not to go to Planet 2, is to make sure I get a card out of the deal. Yep, so all of these guys get shuffled over to Planet 1, which is looking pretty intimidating. And my card is a rocket launcher, so I get 1 more shield, which is fine. I've got no command actions, and I have no more ranged. Yeah, and he's pleased about that. Oh, yep, no, it's his initiative actually, so he should be checking, saying he's done with action, and then I'm done with action, so we're all good. Oh, and he is going to do an action. Strange that he was waiting for me. He had initiative. Okay, so he's going to use Captain Marcus. I'm assuming to kill off a token. Oh, he's going to use it to kill a Rattling Deadeye, and that that exhausts my Neurotic Obliterator. Okay. I don't know why he's waiting for me. My action, it's his initiative. So there we go. Marcus throws 2 onto... Sorry, 3, obviously, because of Broderick. 3 onto the Obliterator. And then I'm going to shield 2 of those. Haha! So 1 more onto the Obliterator. He uses his Warlord, and I shield 1 more. There we go. 1 more onto the Obliterator. I'm still alive. He was hoping that was going to be it. But no, I'm still in this. I'm really not. Swing with my Rogue Trader for nothing. We're all done. Well, I'm done. Yep, we're all done. He's done. We stand up. And because this is it, I decide I'm going to retreat the civilian, and Broderick War's ability kills any enemy units that retreat from that planet. So there we go, it is dead. And then let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, the civilian runs away and gets shot in the back by Broderick Worr. Broderick Worr runs away, he doesn't want to get bloodied by mistake. And then no actions from anyone. And he hits me big for 4 with the anxious infantry platoon, and there you go, we have game. So Broderick Worr is just a nasty thing to play against. I quite enjoy this attachment deck. It's clearly going to need a lot of work. I hope there's some more cards that support it in its silly games. And I hope you enjoyed. Keep Conquest alive, keep jumping on Octagon and playing. There's lots of great people out there. And I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you again next time.